It's Jazzbo again here at upjazzbo.com, and the next thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you how to make another variation of the 3 loop twist dog. So now here's the dog that we made in the beginning, and then just right before this we made a giraffe. So it's the same idea, it just has some of the parts are a little different. So obviously we have a long neck on this one. So now I am going to show you how to make something a little bit different, but still, you know, these are basically the same thing. We're just changing just a thing here or there. So make sure that you know, you've only got maybe half the balloon filled up. So now we're going to have to make these a lot smaller. So it's exactly the same way that we've done. We're just going to fold it down, squeeze it right there, and twist it around. Okay, so it's a good bit smaller than what we've been doing. You might want to squeeze it, give it a squeeze, kind of puts that pressure on down the balloon. So give it a squeeze. The exact same thing again, and remember the tail is always pointing down, so it's pretty helpful that way. So now I'm going to fold that down, twist. Okay, so there we go. Maybe give it another squeeze, just kind of gets that pressure going down. Helps us out quite a bit, makes the balloon a lot easier to work with. And again, oh, hey, come back. Hey. So there we go, but now we've got the tail right here pointing down. And remember, when we finish up a balloon, you want to make sure that there is some inflated balloon above your fingers and below your fingers. So like on this side here, there's balloon here, balloon on the bottom, balloon up top, and balloon down at the bottom, and a loop at the very tip top. There we go. So squeeze it, because remember, we're not doing this. That's not correct. We need it right there. So we're kind of cutting that part, or splitting that part in half almost. So squeeze it nice and tight. Squeeze it, don't be afraid. Reach over, twist it. And now we've got what could be a mouse. This could be a mouse. And now here's an important this is an important point when you're making balloons, is when you're making them, if you're making something and it doesn't look quite right, you can always go back. So now I'm just going to go back. I'm just untwisting it. So there we go. I wasn't too sure about that last tail. So I'm actually going to try to make it a little smaller. So I'm just going to see that there's a little bit of a bubble right here. Not much. Not much. I'm going to see if I like that better. And actually, I think I like that a little bit better. Before, I kind of thought this the bubble tail was up a little too far, I thought. So if you don't like, you know, if the head's turning out too small or too big, or, you know, sometimes when you're starting out, it's hard to tell how big to make things. So some people have a tendency to start making things a little too big, and then when they get here to the end, then there's not really a lot to work with, and they might end up with something that looks like this. And you've done it correctly. You twisted everything just the right way, but you just kind of have to get an idea of how big to make the bubbles. And so once again, if you make a mistake, just untwist the same balloon, go back, see what you can do. You can use the same balloon to practice a couple of times. You know, just get a little bit of a tail right there. Oh, see, it kind of bubbled out on me. So you can do something like that. And I don't know, I'm happier with this tail like this. So if you're not happy with how something's turning out, just untwist it and go back, try it again.